podcast. Thank you for all the day ones, all the new subscribers, all the likes, comments, feedback. Thank you so much. It's greatly and genuinely appreciated. Man, how's everybody out there doing? How's everybody getting ready back to go back to school? I remember getting ready to go back to school. The antsiness, the anxiety. Uh, I remember those days. Getting the outfits ready for the next day and having them sitting down right there, laying next to you, ready to go for the next day. A lot of people, I think a lot of people might have probably already started school already. It depends, I guess different states, different counties. Well, for my county, school starts today, so that's what I've been doing, getting my kid ready for school. And he got baseball coming soon, so I've been just watching YouTube videos, man, just like everybody else. Uh, I watched that live last night that old Lucky from Hoodstocks had. What's good, these nuts? Chilling, man. And he had I think he had a Thungle Blast member from Houston. All right. Good morning, Chris. Crime Case Chronicles. And I seen his interview. I think it was a 2-hour interview. Nah, bro, just out here. So I see the interview last night that they had on Hoodstocks, and I think Homeboy's I think he's like a promoter of sorts. I think he promotes small businesses. He's like a hype man. Whatever his hustle is, he got his hustle. He's doing his thing, right? That's the thing about us Thungle Blast. Not everyone's going to be the same, man. Everybody's different from every city. He told his story. He told the thing that I didn't like about it. This is my opinion, right? That he said he made a statement referring to that the Texas farmers are all in PC. The Texas farmers are not in PC. The Texas farmers, like the Merecidos, the Cuernos, the Aztecas, none of them dudes are in PC. The administration has put them in administration segregation, not PC. Since the early 90s, the administration has been putting the farmers in SEG, 23-hour lockdown, 24-hour lockdown. They're not putting them in no PC. Right? They're not in no PC. Because I was reading the comments and towards the end of the video, I guess they take phone calls there, right? And a dude called, basically that lined up the interview with Lucky and the dude from Thungle, right? He called and he threw in his 2 cents, and I'm in the comments saying, man, if y'all need to know the real history, man, and there's only certain people that actually know the history, right? A lot of these Thungles that are doing interviews on these platforms, they're not really getting the story, man. If they're gonna interview somebody, they need to interview somebody like Sambo, right? Sambo. Sambo, he has given himself and proclaimed himself the title as being a Tongo Blast leader. All right. Sambo from Houston would be a insight, man, a knowledge, right? He was there when it started. He was there when it was brutal. He will give you the insight, man. Sambo, y'all go YouTube and y'all check out Sambo from Houston. He's a very knowledgeable man, just like Robert Delgado, man. All right. You can't mention Tongo Blast without Texas Syndicate. You got to know the beginning, right? You got to know the beginning. You gotta know and understand why the birth of Tongo Blast was born. So you can't mention the history of the blast without mentioning and giving proper respect to the Texas Syndicate. All right. I've noticed a lot of these Tongo Blast members that did their time after the 2000s, they show no respect to the farmers, man. They show no respect. All right. How you doing, Sweet Sue? But you have to give respect to the farmers, man. All right. There's no ifs, buts about it, man. You know, if it wasn't for the Texas farmers, the syndicate, the Merecidos, the Aztecas, they laid the foundation, man. They laid the road for the Tongo Blast, man. You got to understand why the administration started segging these guys up. Why? Because they were too violent. Right? The administration was scared of these guys. They were scared. Because not only was the farmers going after each other, they didn't care going after a building tender or part of the administration. They didn't care, right? They were a group of violent men. So what was the answer for the administration of Texas Department of Corrections? Sagging them up. And when you leave a power vacuum, you leave room for gangs to grow. You have to understand the geographics of Texas, man. Early 90s, rap music started kicking in, all right? We started getting influenced by rap. A lot of us from Texas already have homegrown gangs, right? We already got neighborhood gangs that we already have that mentality of joining a gang, of jumping in, jumping out, right? You get jumped in, you get jumped out. Yes, we're violent, right? Yes. But the administration locked up these farmers, man. Now you gotta take in consideration, if the administration wasn't locking up these farmers, man, it'd be a bloodbath. It would be a bloodbath, right? Just the simple process of joining either one, right? The process of joining a Texas prison farmer, it's the saying, blood in, blood out, right? You're gonna have to go shed blood, man. And by doing that, you might lose your life. You might get more time. But that distinguished, right, the recruits. The recruits, right? How many people are you gonna have Oh, they are, bro. They are, right? Well, I'm gonna get off topic real quick, man. Since you brought that up, God Soldier, I was reached out by a victim's family member yesterday, right? They reached out to me through email, wanting my personal contact number, right? Wanting my phone number, right? I don't know what's going on, man. Right? I don't know. It ain't looking too good for that guy. That's all I can say. It ain't looking too good for that guy. As I showed y'all proof, man, that as a citizen, a documentary can be used as evidence. All you have to do is Google your search, man. Google it, and nowadays we have AI, and they put all this together, and they'll give you a justified answer. I don't want to be disclosing too much of what's going on because I don't want to fuck up people's place, right? I don't want to fuck up people's place. I got my own place, right? But it seems like I got called, I got reached out yesterday by a family member of one of the victims. I don't know what they got going on, but as they can see that, I've been a pretty good advocate for the victims. I don't know, man. I'd be lying to tell you Mark's going to go to prison for the rest of his life, right? I'd be lying to tell you that, man, because I really don't know. I really don't know, man. But I do know that when people get together, it becomes a movement. And once it becomes a movement, man, you can move shit around. All right. Once it becomes a movement, you can move shit around, man. And I like, once again, man, I'm not gonna sit here and say this is gonna happen, that's gonna happen. I don't know, man. As far as myself, I'm going to the unknown as well, right? I don't know the outcome. I'm wishing and hoping for a great outcome. That's all I can do. Leave it in God's hands. Don't give these people no kind of ammunition. And just beat my case, man. Cause there's, how can I tell you, man? I'm glad, man. I'm glad this person reached out to me, man. Cause I was feeling all alone, man. You know what I mean? I was feeling all alone, man. And it kind of rejuvenated me when this family member reached out to me and like, man, can I have your contact number? How can I contact you directly? Not through no comments, not through no message, not through no apps, no, how can I no emails? How can I contact you directly? So I'm like, oh shit, that's never happened before. All this time's been passed, and all of a sudden, people want to get in contact directly. I don't know, man. Right? So a lot of people would say, oh, you ain't never had contact direct. I don't know, man, but look, I finally got reached out, man. You got to let nature take its course. Right? And it's sad, like I said it before, man. We got victims that are currently out here still alive, and we got family member victims, right? Family members of victims that once they come all together, it's a movement. Like I was saying, man, I feel good, man. Getting requested directly from my contact number, man. So now I'm kind of surprised too, man. I'm like, man, what is it about? I don't know what it's about, right? I still haven't been contacted, right? But the first step is, hey, how can we contact you directly? I don't know, man. I'm kind of wondering what it's about, right? Am I doing something wrong that I'm going to be held liable, or I don't know, man. Are the victims mad at me? Are the family members mad at me for did I say something? I don't know, man. I'm kind of curious of what they want to reach out to me about, man. You know, I don't know. Right? I don't know. I'm kind of worried, man. I don't know if the victims are mad. Are they upset with me? Did I do something wrong? Maybe they're gonna tell me stop talking about it. Stop talking about my victims. Stop talking about. I don't know, right? I don't know. You can only hope for the best, and I mean, but I asked myself, I haven't been saying nothing bad about the victims, man. I haven't been saying nothing bad. I've been trying to be, bring awareness and prevention and accountability and trying to give victims justice, man. Right? At the same time, I'm trying to get my justice. So, man, it's a lot of fucking skeeters out here, man. That's why I'm wearing fucking pants and a sweater out here. The fucking mosquitoes are bad right now, especially in the shit. So, I don't know. Look. So, if y'all see me, if y'all go through my videos and my videos are taken down, then y'all know why I got reached out. Right? Because they could only be two things. Right? No, there's no in between. Either they're mad at me or they're happy in the work I've been doing. One of the two, right? It's one of the two outcomes that the family members reached out to me. I don't know, man. I'd be lying to you and tell you, man, I know this, that. I don't know, man. This video was supposed to be a reaction video about hood stocks and my opinion. It went to Mark. I'm trying to get away from that shit, man. You know what I mean? It's all gonna come down one day, man, and I want to get away from it. I want to distance myself as soon as possible, man. I'm not a content creator, man. Every now and then I might do a reaction video, throw my 2 cents in, and but mostly it's about Texas, man. When I see somebody else do a Texas video on another platform, me being from Texas and me having an opinion like an asshole like everybody else is, I'm gonna express it, man. All right, I'm gonna express my opinion, and that's my take, man. I guarantee you, man, if these Texas prison families would be out running the main lines, that would be a bloodbath, man. All right, just a simple joining, the process of joining it, right? The process of joining it, blood in, blood out, compared to you take a 30-second minute beating, right? You take a beating, right? You fight back, you're in. But now to put in work, you're gonna have to go smash on people. But the way we smash is 2-on-3. Nobody's really airing anybody out, right? But now if the Texas farmers were running the line, when they have to go do work, they're playing for keeps. Right? They're playing for keeps. So it's like having 10 dudes with swords and having 100 with fists. So you put 10 warriors with swords, right? And then 100 attack with nothing but fists and legs. What's the outcome, man? What's the outcome? What's the outcome, man? If those 10 guys know how to swing that sword, it'll be a slaughterhouse. Now, if you say those out of those 100 guys, 50 of them have swords, and then 50 have fist and feet, well then you know those 10 are going to be slaughtered, man. But then you got to understand the people that are being recruited, right? Man, I can go through any motherfucking hood in Dallas, right? And I can stop at any fucking convenience store, right, in Dallas, and it won't take me long to see a Thongo Blast member being a dope fiend, asking for money. I'm not lying, right? This is the truth. And that same dope fiend, once he goes to prison, becomes a homeboy. I've seen it. All right. I've seen dudes that were dope fiends out here in the streets go to prison for being crackheads, and now they come out having stars on them. And now when you tell somebody, go put in work, it's going to cost you more time. Might even cost you your life, depending on who you're going after. Thongo Blast is built off going home. That's what it was built off, the foundation of homeboys taking care of homeboys so they can go home. Right? A homeboy is not going to go tell you to go put in work for you to catch time. So the farmers, you see, that's the thing, man. People need to get, not even me. I myself will not even consider myself to be a good person, to be throwing out the history of Texas, right? I myself is not that right person. There's only certain people, man, that have the knowledge and the insight, information. And those characters are like Sambo, right? If you want to know about Thongo Blast, the origins, the history, Sambo would be the man. Sambo. Right? He would tell you how it started, why it started, when, what was his role, right? And like I said it before, you can't mention Thongo Blast without the Texas Syndicate, right? He's gonna tell you we were created because of the farmers, but basically the TS was the dominant one, right? But you have to understand the Texas history, right? It's a chain link, man. Then you got to go to the next link, right? What was the first gang here in Texas? The building tenders, right? The administration. The administration, man. Everybody's heard of Bonnie and Clyde. Clyde went to Ramsey jail, man, in 1920 or 1930. I can't remember the actual date, right? In the 1900s, right? He said that place was so horrible, man. Guys were getting raped left and right, right? Because that's the administration was picking inmates on who to be guards. Inmates were guarding inmates, right? The administration was cherry picking the toughest, the baddest of the inmates to guard the other inmates. You know what these building tenders would do to these guys, man? In Texas, we got metal commodes, right? In some units, there's porcelain and there's metal commodes, metal shitters. So these dudes would get these punks, wrap them around in a cloth blanket, in a soaked cloth blanket, right? Make him stand on top of that metal commode and shock him with the radio, right? With the extension cord from the radio, they would disconnect it from the radio, and they would shock the dude, right? Making him subdue into becoming a boy. And the administration would let these guys do this shit, right? Because they were part of the gatekeepers. Hey, you keep these other guys in control, you get the picking of the boys you get, right? You get to do what you want. But in 1980 or 79, when the Texas Syndicate got moved from California, when California said, hey, man, we're sending y'all motherfuckers back to Texas, man. And they sent them back to Texas. And when they sent them back to Texas, they flourished and they became the Texas Syndicate in Texas, right? Because the birth was in California. And that tells you the caliber of Texas man, that they can go to California and establish themselves, right? They were born in California. They weren't born in Texas. They were born in California. And we all can see on how California feels they're superior in gang and prison politics, right? But if that was the case, then why would they let the Texas Syndicate flourish and be born? Why no California prison family has been able to grow and flourish in Texas prisons? No California gang. And that tells you, man. So why was it Texas Syndicate born? The Texas Syndicate was born to go against the administration, man. To go against the building tenders. It was a political movement, right? They would sue, hunger strikes. They were for the people, man, for the Tejano, for the Chicano. If you were a Mexican and born in Texas, you were a Tejano, man. It was a cause. It was a movement. It's like everything else, right? Once the Texas Syndicate got the administration out the way, it became a gang, right? It no longer was a political movement for the Tejanos. It became an organized gang trying to control the black market of prison, right? The building tenders left a vacuum. So now the Texas Syndicate were trying to fill it, right? But then the Texas Syndicate became almost like the bullies on the block, right? They wanted to tax everybody and anybody, right? You're doing something in here, we're taxing. We're taxing, right? They became the bullies. Other prison gangs started forming. The Mexicami, the Texas Mexican Mafia. That's Aztecas. All these other prison gangs started forming, right? Because of the Texas being bullies, taxing everybody, right? The Texas Syndicate and all the prison families in the 80s and the 90s started getting out of control. There was years where they were having up to 400 murders a year in Texas prisons. Go do your research. When the FAMAs were in control, there was years where they were catching 300 to 400 bodies a year in the Texas prison system. Now you know how many you hear about prisoners? You hear about 20 to 30 prisoners dying a year. But then you got to take in consideration the people that unalive themselves, health issues, right? How many really truly passed away due to violence? To violence. A handful, right? Because violence, it's prison, it's still violent. It's still a violent place. People are still going to be being violent. But it was nowhere near when it was in the 80s and the 90s, man. Right? When the bottle the total of bodilies being added up were in the hundreds. In the hundreds, right? Just taking consideration the time that the farmers had power, the body counts. Right? The body counts. Now 30 years later, you have Tango Blast in control. It was a power vacuum, right? They locked up all the farmers in administration segregation, not in PC, not in protective custody, administrative segregation, right? In a simple tattoo marking, even being related, being associated, you were being segged, right? Even coming from the county jail, if the county jail did their job and they say, oh man, this guy's he seems a part of it, we're going to keep him over here, we're going to put it in his file that, you know, he might be an alleged member or not. It's alleged, right? So now when you go to TDC, they bring in your reports from the county jail. That's good enough for them to segregate you already. So by the help of the administration in the 90s, in the late 80s, they started segging up all the prison families. Once again, leaving another power vacuum for Tango Blast to pick it up and run with it, right? The administration doesn't see Tango Blast like a security threat group, a STG, right? They don't see them as a security threat, right? They're not trying to overthrow the administration. They're not attacking the administration. They're just a bunch of, to the outside looking in, just a bunch of people just out of control. There's no structure, no leader. No leader, right? And the administration knows the process of joining, right? They understand the process of joining. One prison farmer has, okay, you want to join us? Here goes a piece of metal. Here goes a piece of metal. Go put it to work. If you want to be one of us, here goes this metal. Right? The administration knows all this shit. They know, okay, well, if we keep these guys out here, they're going to recruit. In order for them to get stronger, they're going to have to be putting violence out here on everybody else. Right? So that's a no-no. They don't want that. It's a safe prison. It's pre. So it's like picking the lesser evil of both, right? Yes, we get disruption, but we don't get no violence. We're not gonna have reporters up our ass in here questioning, hey, why so many people being unalived? Their biggest problem right now is K2. It's K2. All right? I'm glad that when I went to prison, there was real weed, man. There wasn't this fucking synthetic bullshit that they got nowadays, making people into fucking crackheads. Right? That's the thing, man. People have to give respect to the farmers, man. Right? You might not like them. You might feel one way about them. But there's no denying them their respect, man. Their contributions. Because like I said, man, without the farmers, there wouldn't be no Tango Blast. And that's why I'm working with Robert Delgado, man. Right. People know him as Malo, Bad Bob. Why? Because he got the Texas Syndicate, right? He don't have all the Texas Syndicate, right? He has the original version, right? He has the original version on how it started, what it was for, the movement, to what it became, and why he distanced himself from it, right? Why he distanced himself, right? He's the one that made the decision to step away from it. He didn't like what it had became, right? He distanced himself from something that he helped establish in Texas. And there's not too many Robert Delgados, man. He's old already, man. He's in the 70s, 60s. You know, history that's going to vanish, man, if it doesn't get documented. And that's why I want to document Robert Delgado, right? And that's why I reached out to Sambo too, right? I reached out to Sambo, letting them know, hey, do you know Robert? He goes, yeah, man, I did time with him. So they know each other, right? So here you got two men that were once leaders of oppositions. We don't need to be hearing it from the foot soldiers, man. I'm a foot soldier, right? You consider me a foot soldier, right? Everybody else that's done a Tango Blast interview has been a foot soldier, as you would say, right? If somebody's going to tell the history, we need somebody like Sambo, Robert Delgado, and many of these veterans, these OGs. A lot of these OGs, man, that really about it and really did it. Not from the foot soldiers, man. Right? Because us foot soldiers, we're going to have different calls. We need to hear it from, hey, this is the call, and this is what got funneled down to us, right? The foot soldiers, right? We as foot soldiers have our own take, man, but we need to hear it where the orders directly came from, right? Who gave those orders to the way this is the way we functioned, right? I can tell you my point of view or my thoughts on about it as a foot soldier, but I might be inaccurate most of the time, right? So it's always better to hear from somebody that gave those orders directly to us foot soldiers, right? And that's not taken away from anybody, you know. But the gist of it is like we need to hear it from people like Sambo, Robert Delgado, people that were leaders of these fractions, right? That can tell you, look, this is why we put the orders in directly to y'all. Y'all have a good one, man. I gotta go take my kid to school. I'm being screamed at right now.